welcome back to my channel. I know it's been quite a while since I've actually uploaded anything, about a month, maybe a bit more, but I'll make up for it with this video. I've got something very cool to show you, something that's taken possibly nearly, well I say possibly, it's taken nearly a year for me to actually get this ready to be able to show, but basically I have something very, very cool right here, and I might as well just give you a little bit of a glimpse of that. So this right here is the Crimson Dawn, I can't remember the name of the hilt. I think it's either the Shade or the, is it the Wraith? But I'm going to put on the screen the actual name of the hilt. And the reason I can't remember is kind of confusing because I actually got a different, like there was some kind of mix-up with the hilt that I ordered with the name, like the order said the wrong name for the hilt. So that's not a complaint really, because it was just a slight little mix-up. I can't remember just what the correct name of this hilt is, but as I say, it'll be on the screen. And yeah, so this is a Crimson Dawn lightsaber, and the two key features of this saber are that it has a NeoPixel blade, which I'll get into what that means in a minute, and it also has a Proffie soundboard. Now I'm far from an expert on custom lightsabers. I can link in this video a few key channels that I'm subscribed to that know a hell of a lot about lightsabers. You know, the soundboards and the companies that sell them, and basically if you're interested in getting yourself a lightsaber and you want to know a lot more than this video is going to talk about, then I'll link them down below. But yeah, essentially a Proffie soundboard is a very high-end lightsaber soundboard. I'd say it's not the best on the market right now, but it's definitely one of the most desirable soundboards, very customizable. Apparently it's a little more complicated to kind of understand getting into the customization for than some contemporaries, but it's also very high quality, so it's worth learning how to do that. And essentially what it means is that it has very nice sound, which I'll just activate this font again so you can hear. I don't know how well I don't know how well you're going to be able to really hear or appreciate how nice it is, but it is a very nice sound. Obviously I'll scroll through a few of the different fonts. So that's what the Proffie soundboard is. Now, as for NeoPixel, this is a type of lightsaber blade. Basically, your standard lightsabers will be baselit, which means that the LEDs from 1 to, I believe, 3, like a tricree or whatever, is the kind of most, the highest amount of LEDs that you'd have in your hilt. So the LEDs would be in the hilt itself, which would obviously give you, depending on the actual types, it can give you very nice blade brightness, but a NeoPixel blade is different because the LEDs are housed within the blade itself, which provides much better brightness, well, at least a decent increase in brightness from a high-end baselit lightsaber, as well as the ability to have effects in the blade, a lot of different effects that other blades won't allow. Such as a scrolling effect, which is probably my favorite effect, and the reason that I think a lot of people like NeoPixel blades is because you can do this. And obviously depending on the font and if you make any modifications or whatever, it's a lot more pronounced, but essentially, you know, it allows the blade to scroll instead of just instantly lighting up, which obviously is definitely a completely aesthetic choice, but I think it's very cool feature to have. And obviously there are benefits and drawbacks to a NeoPixel blade. First of all, the most obvious to me is that durability is affected, because obviously the standard lightsaber blade is essentially just a fancy tube, whereas this has actual like electric components in the blade that, if given a significantly hard strike, will obviously be damaged, which can lead to dead pixels, which is essentially little blank spots in the blade from damage and other things as well. But essentially there are things you can do to get around this. Obviously, firstly, if you get a NeoPixel lightsaber, you're going to want to, you know, ensure that you don't, you know, don't get a NeoPixel lightsaber if you're planning to absolutely abuse the crap out of it and you don't want it to break, because it's a much higher chance to break. But also, this is a heavy grade NeoPixel blade, which I've actually seen. Another channel I'll link the official Crimson Dawn YouTube channel in the description down below. They seem like a really great group of guys, and they've done some very nice testing on these, including actual fencing in full gear and masks, where it's, they're actually hitting hard, as well as I think other stress and durability tests. And I won't, I don't know if I'll remember to link all of these, but there's this guy called the Saber Crucible, where he essentially tests lightsaber durability, and he did some Crimson Dawn ones, so I'll try and remember to link all these channels as well. But he's a great channel that shows some of the durability limits of those. But yeah, another thing that you may notice the NeoPixel blade has is very nice tip luminosity, which obviously I'm sure will be taken out of context in dirty comments. But what that means is the actual tip here is like a separate piece, and as you can see with this font in particular, it's got really great luminosity. A lot of problems with like other lightsabers that I've seen or used before, the tip will often be super dim and it looks kind of crap. Some fonts on this, it doesn't look as good, but this one is quite nice. It's a Kylo Ren font right now. But yeah, that's what NeoPixel is, that's what Proffie is, and obviously those two things drastically increase the price. That's another big thing about NeoPixel. Obviously the price is going to drastically increase depending where you are as well with shipping, which I suffered for that because I'm in the UK. But your standard blade could cost you like $10-20 or something. This will cost you $40-50. I've seen some people say it's like $100, which I've never seen any that high, but that did come from some people that know a lot more about lightsabers than I do. But from what I remember on the Crimson Dawn website, it's definitely not that expensive to get a new one. But yeah, so my personal experience with Crimson Dawn as a company, they seem like a pretty great company. I did get really unlucky, so that's why it took me nearly a year, like 9 months, to get this ready, because first of all, the sound of my lightsaber seemed to break, and we couldn't really get to the bottom of what it is. And after several months, because this happened right as they were making a shift over to kind of support tickets rather than emails, so it was just really unlucky timing and everything. But eventually they just straight up shipped me out a new actual lightsaber, like innards, which if you unscrew the back part of the pommel here, you can have a look inside. Which, by the way, this thing is powered by a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, which the voltage is important. So if your battery is messed up, whatever, you're going to need to make sure you find out the voltage and ampage or whatever you need to know. And if you see in there, there's a bit of a look at the Proffie board. You can probably hear it's a bit of an awkward angle that I'm filming this video with right now. But yeah, so that took a few months, and then basically as soon as, or right after we got the sound fixed, my freaking blade broke. So that was so goddamn annoying, especially because I was going on holiday right at that point, and I really wanted to take my saber with me, and I was really happy that we got it working. And then the blade broke, and again, they just ended up shipping me out a new blade. I'm not really saying any of this to discourage anyone from purchasing lightsabers from Crimson Dawn. In fact, quite the opposite. I would actually really recommend their lightsabers. I think I just got some really bad luck with mine. In terms of customer support, customer service, they were really great. I did have to wait a little while for them to respond to me the first time because, as I said, I think the main reasons for that, obviously, you've got to take COVID and everything into consideration. This is not some like big professional company, it's just a small group of people. But also the fact that they were making this transition on their website right at the time that it happened. So I don't really blame them for that. And every other time I contacted them, they responded in a perfectly reasonable amount of time. And they did so in a helpful and, polite, I guess, whatever. They did so in a helpful and good manner. So I did, of course, manage to get my stuff fixed. And of course, they did just ship free replacements upon stuff being broken, which to a lot of people sounds like, oh, well, yeah, obviously, duh, they kind of need to do that. A lot of lightsaber companies, Ultra Sabers, and just a lot of the bigger retailers in the industry are just really crap in general. Like, Ultra Sabers is garbage. I highly discourage anyone picking up anything from Ultra Sabers, and a lot of people immediately, myself included, my first custom lightsaber was an Ultra Sabers, and I don't exactly really regret buying it, or rather, I didn't actually end up buying it. It was given to me as a gift. I don't really regret, like, speccing it out and essentially, getting my family to get it for me as a gift or whatever. I don't hate owning it or anything. but you know, is so far inferior to lightsabers such as this one, and the company in general is trash. And if you want to know why, if you want to know more about that, go check out the Lando Sabers video about this. I'm going to link his channel in the description. He's one of the people that earlier I mentioned, like, good channels to check out. He's one of them. He's one of the best, and also he made a great video about Ultra Sabers that really taught me and a lot of other people why they definitely need to be avoided. And yeah, so that's really it about Crimson Dawn as a company. They seem to make great sabers at pretty reasonable prices. I actually got this during a time when they were selling these at a stupidly low price for the actual, like, a NeoPixel Proffie saber was being sold for like $200 or something like that, which if that sounds like a ton, I mean, obviously it's a lot of money to spend on a lightsaber, but for what you're getting, it's actually an amazing deal. It's probably less than, it's probably about half of what your average cheaper Proffie NeoPixel might actually end up costing because of the technology within the blade and the high-end soundboard and everything. So it was actually a great deal. And if you look on Ultra Saber's website and you see the prices they're charging for non-NeoPixel, base lit, inferior sound products that are like 500 quid with, you know, relatively crappy hilts that are poorly built, that will probably break and fall apart and take a year to get to you, and they won't help you or give you any customer support. Yeah, I think it's really worth the price from Crimson Dawn. So I guess that's really it for, you know, the company, the lightsaber, like how I got it and everything like that. So I guess we'll show it off a bit. So just before we really get into any of this stuff, I'm not really going to do any like complex spinning or anything like that tricks with it in right now, because I actually just need to kind of readjust the blade because we've put it in a little bit wobbly. So I'm not really going to do any complicated spins or anything like that, as well as that, you know, I'm in a room, I don't really want to smack it into anything. So if that is a video you'd like to see, some like demonstrations of how nice it looks with various sound fonts and stuff outside, then, you know, make sure to leave a comment down below, like this video or whatever, and I will of course consider doing that. If people want to see it, because it's not the easiest for me to do right now, to be honest, but I could do it. So if people want to see that, then I'll definitely do that. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll kind of just demonstrate how the thing works and go through a few of the sound fonts. I don't know if I'll go through all of them really, because that could take quite a while. I'll go through a few anyway. And keep in mind that these all come with this saber by default. I have not in any way customized this lightsaber. So you can actually customize and put your own sound fonts onto this thing. Again, Lando Sabers made a great video. I haven't actually fully watched it yet, but I'm going to be watching it to actually learn how to customize your board and stuff. But yeah, he made a video about that. So again, Lando Sabers. He'll be linked in the description. So yeah, so first of all, I'll just turn on the Kylo Ren font that you've already seen and kind of give a bit of a demonstration on how things work. So obviously, as you can see, we have the ignition switch right here. Simply a light press of that once will ignite the blade. And then simply hold it down until the blade closes for it to kind of retract. So there you go. And then obviously, just, you know, if you're having any trouble with any of this stuff, you might want to check your battery is charged and everything like that, because sometimes the sound, like the blade and stuff like that, can be a bit glitchy if the thing isn't charged. So don't immediately panic if your thingy isn't working. I know I did say that mine didn't, but I think I was an outlier, and also the first things we did were to check the battery and stuff like that. And in most cases, it will be something like that. So next, I'll just show a few things you can do with this. So this is like a one button system, I think it's referred to, but this is like the only actual button on the saber, which you use to do about 90% of the things. So if we turn it on here, as you see, it's got a really cool unstable flickery blade effect. I know some people don't really like that, but this is only for this font. Obviously a lot of other fonts will have that. So first of all, pressing the button while it's ignited will do a blast to deflection effect. I don't know how well the camera picks it up. You can definitely see it flashing, but it's a lot cooler in real life. So you can see right there. And then, like, if you do a double tap of the button, but on the second tap you hold it down, it will do a either lightsaber clash or force lightning deflection effect, depending on what you want to do with it. So here we go. Yeah, again, that looks kind of cool on camera, but it looks really, really cool in real life. So I will do some demonstrations of the actual fonts with the lights down. But yeah, that's how you activate that. And then some of them slightly more irritating to execute when you're not used to doing them. First of all, it's when you hold the button down and you like twist while the blade is angled upwards, it will do, if the sound font includes it, which a lot of them do, it does a specific effect. It will either play a sound or it will just do a flashing light effect on the blade, probably both, which I'll try and do now. Hey, I managed it first time. So I don't know if you could hear that. It's definitely a lot cooler with other fonts, like the Empire Strikes Back Luke one. It does like Vader quotes and stuff. It's really cool. As you could probably see there, it does this flickering effect up the blade. And yeah, it is kind of annoying to execute at first when you're not used to doing it, but you will get used to it. And then more importantly, when you do that exact same movement, so hold the button and kind of twist it like this, while it's angled down, it will turn on the color changing mode. So I can do that. Oh, I just did the blade effect again. Okay, so I don't know how well I'll be able to see this. So right now it's in color changing mode, and how that works is you just twist the lightsaber and it will change color, and you just slowly twist it. It will slightly change towards each shade of color, and you can just stop at whatever color you want. So I'm going to put it back onto red because I want it to stay red. And then what you do is just when you're on the color you want, okay, when you're on the color you want, you just hold down the button.
Color selected.
And I don't know if you heard that, it says color selected, and then there you go. Oh, and one more feature I actually forgot to talk about for General Saber. It has a feature called Smooth Swing, where essentially a lot of the older, although quality lightsabers, they would only really make a swinging or, you know, vroom noise if you actually significantly moved it around, and it wasn't always very well mapped to your movements. However, with Smooth Swing, even small movements, they make noise. So it's a really immersive experience, and definitely a pretty important feature for modern lightsabers, which of course companies like Ultra Sabers didn't even have, and I still don't know if they do have now. So let me just turn this thing on and I'll kind of give you a bit of a demonstration. So I don't know if you can hear that, but like the longer, more sweepy movements I did, it would play a longer extended sound, and then the little juddery quick motions I did, it would play a quicker sound. So really, really immersive, great sound and smooth swing on that. So yeah, I think that's like the main things to cover with this really. I'm trying to think, is there anything I've missed here? I don't really think there is. And then obviously we have the actual lightsaber clashing. So you know, if you hit the blade, it will clash, and you can actually make it do it just by even a light tap on the hilt. You can do it with one finger. You know, consistently. So if you wanna, you know, like just pretend to hit stuff and not smack your lightsaber against stuff, you can go like just by tapping the hilt, which is great. And also, it will do it sometimes automatically when you thrust forward like this. As you can see, I'm not touching the hilt, it just does it automatically when you thrust. And then one more thing, there is a way to actually turn the lightsaber on without touching it if you just kind of thrust down. I think it has to be downwards. Okay, so you can't really see that. Let me just angle the camera down a bit. There you go, so I didn't actually touch the button that time, it did just activate by itself. See if I can do it with the button facing the camera so you can see I'm not pressing it. Okay, it's a little finicky right now. Okay, so it doesn't seem to want to do it, but there you go. Okay, I don't know what was going on with it there, it just doesn't seem to want to do it too consistently, but yeah, that does work. Okay, I promise. Alright, so that's pretty much all that you really need to know about the Saber to have fun with it on a base level. Now, why don't we demonstrate some of the sound fonts with the lights off? So, yeah.
Battery level indicator.
This is a battery level indicator, by the way.
Defiant.
Defiance.
Spectrum.
Okay, so this one is kind of silly. It's a rainbow blade. I think it mainly exists to show the different colors that you can use on the saber, but it is a fully functioning font as well.
The dark side. My master.
Because this one I've obviously changed the colors around on some of these. This one's a Revan one. Okay, so I think this one's a Princess Leia one.
I'm Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis, the main character from Jedi Fallen Order. Again, I've changed the color on this one. Of course, if you haven't picked up by now, you can change the color to whatever you want on any of the fonts, and it'll just keep your selection. Alright, let's do one more.
Your destiny lies with me, Skywalker.
Great one to end on. This is Empire Strikes Back Luke. This is such a nice sound font.
Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. We have come to discover your power. We come to discover your power.
Trying to activate all the different lines.
Don't make me destroy you. Don't make me destroy you. If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Alright, so I think that'll do. There are quite a lot of different sound fonts on here that I haven't shown. There's a General Kenobi one, Darth Maul one, there's loads of awesome ones, Rey Skywalker, etc, etc. And do remember that you can of course add your own. So yeah. This is such an awesome thing. I'm really happy I can finally use the thing, and soon I'll be able to actually do some comprehensive spinning and things like that again once I've got the screws back in properly and the blade is adjusted. But yeah, pretty much all I have to say, and to show off this awesome thing. I will probably include it in more videos, and like I said, if you want to see more videos like spinning tricks, things like that, then do make sure you leave a like on the video and drop a comment saying that you want to see that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will link the Crimson Dawn website as well as the different YouTubers and things that I've talked about in the description. And yeah, do subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will be making some more videos. I am not dead. This channel will still be making cool stuff. See you later.